Rafal Sarnecki. I'm a guitarist originally from Warsaw, Poland. I live in New York City. I play guitar. I used to study physics back in Poland a long time ago. I came here 30 years ago. I was supposed to be here for half a year, and here I am in 2018. Playing jazz music, I felt like I could express myself in a way that was different than the way other people express themselves. Actually, I feel it's true for myself until these days. I feel like I'm excited about playing a style that is not a mainstream style like pop music or rock and roll. I always felt that I really liked the swing feel of jazz music. There was something really attractive to me. And obviously the freedom in improvisation. I've always been excited about improvising, playing my own notes. I feel like I could be more relaxed playing improvised music than arranged, composed music. I remember my first lesson with a jazz guitar teacher. Actually, it happened pretty randomly. The music school that was the closest to my house back in Warsaw was actually specialized in jazz music, and at the time I was actually playing rock music, and my teacher was like, okay, it's cool that you're playing all this stuff, but here's Beautiful Love, learn this for next lesson. I was like, okay, this is cool. It's some new, strange, funny chords that I can learn. I was really excited about this. And then it took about a year to realize, like, wow, this is actually something I could dedicate my life to. And there's a lot of things in common between mathematics and music, obviously. I mean, people knew that since ancient times. I would say mathematics helps me find some new tools of expression. I wouldn't base a composition just on following some mathematical structures or intervallic relations. It's more let's say, when I'm trying to find new tools of expression, or if I'm stuck with something and I want to move forward, I can use some of that kind of thinking. Sometimes I like to follow my heart and just write things that I hear in my head, and then later on analyze it mathematically. That I find very inspiring, and because of that analysis, if I find one thing that I feel like really expresses me, I can right away find a few other things that are related to that also express me in some way, but are different at the same time. Actually, I came here specifically to go to New School to study the jazz program at the New School. I thought like, oh hey, I have a half a year and I need to get as much as possible from this half a year. I didn't realize it's going to be actually 13 years or hopefully even more. And that moment was very special. It's such a different culture, such a different music scene. Everything was just so different, and I think that's something I really liked in New York. I felt like every day I saw something I would never see in Poland. Just a little situation on the subway, a little situation in a restaurant. And I have to say, back then in 2005 when I came to New York, there was no YouTube. So that's a huge difference. I feel like YouTube changed the world, changed the music scene in Poland. These days, all my friends in Poland know exactly what's happening in New York. They know every single musician. They know more about my friends in New York than I do myself. But back then, in 2005, I went to a club and I couldn't believe what I hear. It's like, wow, this is so different. Why haven't I heard this music before? Why no one listens to that in Poland? This 2005, there was, let's say, the fusion jazz scene was still really the thing. I feel like a lot of people wanted to sound like the big stars of the fusion era. These days, it's more, a little bit more up to date. People know what are the new trends on the world music scene, and so these days the difference isn't as striking. The avant-garde scene is doing really well. There's a lot of people, like it happened to me a couple of times. I would go to an avant-garde jazz concert and there would be like 1,000 people listening. Let's say I can't imagine 1,000 people attending an avant-garde jazz concert in New York, for example. And at the same time, I feel like the Euro jazz scene is very big, the ECM. A lot of people listen to the music that is more based on textures, colors, creating sounds. My new album is called Climbing Trees. It's recorded with Lucas Pino, tenor saxophone, bass clarinet, Bogna Kicińska, voice, Glenn Zaleski on piano, Rick Rosado on bass, and Colin Stranahan on drums. I've been playing with these musicians for the past 8 years, I believe, at least 8 years. And so I know them very well. A lot of things I wrote specifically for them to feature their unique abilities. This is my 4th album as a leader, and I feel like this is the first album where I'm actually featuring guitar. So basically what I mean by featuring guitar is, let's say, writing things that someone who is not a guitar player might not write. So taking advantage of open strings in the sense of writing chords that incorporate open strings, writing melodic lines that incorporate open strings, writing lines that incorporate some harmonics. Also using the full range of the guitar, like let's say writing the melodies in the lowest register all the way down to the lowest E, in a way that is not really common for jazz writing, and trying to make it work. So I was really trying to think what I can do with the guitar as a composer, rather than just write like some shredding guitar lines, because I feel like that's a very common thing to do. So that was something new for me. I was trying to take advantage of the instrumentation that I have, not make everyone play all the same all at once, and I was trying to have little duos, little trios, little quartets within the group that I have. I was really trying to make this album interesting. I feel like I like modern jazz much more live than on records. I feel like it's easy to make a modern jazz record sound a little bit boring. There's something always missing, and I was just trying to think about what I can do to keep the listener interested in my music. So Climbing Trees symbolizes just fighting your own fears, doing things that you thought you would never be able to do, and getting through that barrier. And music has always been a little bit like climbing trees. I always had gone to stage fright, and going on stage was like climbing trees for me. So the title relates to that. I think it has something that can keep the listener interested, and I think there are some solutions, arranging solutions that are different, and I hope people will enjoy listening to it.